do people have the opportunity to change positions or work in different areas if that interests them? Can a few of you talk about that as part of the culture?
Well, I can say just from personal experience, this was my second career. I had a career in the corporate world and for many years before I went to school, got my master's in social work, something that I had always wanted to do and found the opportunity to do it later on. I came to St. Anne as an intern and really loved it. And I was laughing with some coworkers recently about some challenges I was offered as an intern. I was like, but it gave me a lot of good experience in having to think on my feet and work through challenging situations. And when I left, I started to find out what I didn't like, which I think many of us find out. We have a job and we find out what we don't like or what we do like. And I had a couple of positions and I kept calling my previous supervisor from St. Anne and, asking like, remember, I want to come back. And I had the opportunity to come back. Started out with children and families, did my worked with the adult program for most of the time, worked as a therapist, and then found my way as the director of community-based clinical and care management services. So there is a pathway, and we've been talking about that. Kaylin recently received her promotion to coordinator as we identify different areas that we want to grow. I know Alexa can probably speak to her on her own, but as well as Rosa. Rosa found her way to program administrator. So there is a clear pathway for some growth if you stay and you learn and you find different areas of interest.
And just to piggyback off of that, I think I also have worked in every program except for residential in Gloversville because Gloversville is new. But so I've done some work at all of our office locations and in the adult program. I've worked with kids as young as 4, all the way through adults in their 80s. So St. Anne's really offers a variety of experiences. We work with so many different populations that there's kind of something for everyone. And I feel that I've been fortunate in my experience, and I'm not unique here, that, people are able to be supported to explore their interests. And so, one of the great things about coming as an intern is you might have an idea like, yes, this is the kind of work I want to do. And you start to do it and you're like, oh my goodness, what did I get myself into? Maybe not. And so you end up, being exposed to different things that you may not have ever even thought of. And, having such a close relationship with your supervisor, you can express those things. I've always felt comfortable doing that. And, I have always felt supported in being able to explore those other opportunities in working in different programs and kind of finding a niche because, as Alexa was saying, a lot of this work is very tiring. The vicarious trauma is very real. And so the support is so important. But, finding work that kind of is like the good tiring for you, right? That you're, at the end of the day, you're happy you did the work that, might have tired you out. And so, it's really nice that St. Anne's is able to offer a lot of different experiences so that you can kind of find your way as a professional, especially just starting out and not knowing what you might want to do ultimately.
Something else that I think would be helpful to bring up here too is the educational opportunities. I was not an intern here, but one thing that I've always appreciated about my time here is that in starting as direct care, I was kind of figuring out what I wanted to do career-wise, like right out of college, but then applied for my master's program and was able to, I had so much flexibility with my supervisor. So once I had transitioned from the unit to the on-call agency behavioral support office, my supervisor really worked with me so that I could go to classes, do my internship, and continue to work. And then I had opportunities as a supervisor. And ultimately, between then and now I was able to get to the point that I'm at. And I really appreciate the fact that that was an opportunity I was able to have. I don't know if other organizations would have allowed some of the flexibility I needed, especially because with a master's program, you know, you're doing your internship 2 full days a week. You have your classes, full-time classes, and then, you know, that changes a lot. And that's something I'll always be grateful for. And also the real-time experience while I was doing my master's, and being able to apply everything I was seeing or learning in theory, then seeing the actual practice. St. Nance's really allowed that for not just myself. I have colleagues who were here for a long time and then they moved on to other places, but we perpetuated that support with higher education. I think that's so important because you're working with an agency that allows you to grow, not just for the agency, but for yourself and your own career goals.